Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, damn me to the Zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. We on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick.
Hey, hello, hi everyone. It's your home slice, Dammy Zane, in the building. Welcome to Unpicked, the podcast show. If you're new here, I hope you watch the whole thing and subscribe. If you're coming back, hey, welcome back. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Venom.
What's good? What's good?
Right? With the sunglasses on. Inside.
Yep, we inside.
Inside.
I'm trying to feel the summer that's not here.
Listen. I got my arms out. You know, you got to wheel it into fruition. Do you know what I mean? You got to wheel it into fruition. But yeah, man. Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started, there's something I want to say.
Okay.
So, guys, my co-host had his birthday this weekend. And he tried to keep it quiet, but you see me, yeah, I don't take birthdays lightly. So I want to ask you guys to show my co-host some love, okay? Drop it in the comments, go on his Insta, go in his DMs, shout him out, say happy birthday to him, please. Give him the love he deserves. Because, we've been doing this for a little while now, and I really do enjoy doing these podcast episodes with you, Venom. Like, you've become a real friend to me, a bro and that. So, I just wanted to honour you because it's due. You deserve it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Did you enjoy your birthday? Oh, honestly, it's
yeah,
a
man. I just kept it low key, as I said. Yeah,
man.
Just a bit of family time and just a little bit of banter. And
I love that.
Yeah, just recreation.
Yeah, unfortunately, nice. I couldn't be there because I went to a live podcast show this weekend. But I thought, let me bring the celebration to the episode.
To the
poddy? To the poddy. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly shout you out real quick. Show some love. Might be the one and only time. Maybe once a year. You got it.
Let's see if you got the same energy by the end of the episode. Yeah.
Be careful with your prophecies because remember last time.
I know.
Right. Okay, so let's get right into the ting. So we want to start with a game. We're going to play a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You lot have seen us play it before, but this time we're going to do it differently. We are not going to share opinions. This time it's Venom's turn to ask me some questions and give me some this or that options, and I just have to quickfire give him my answers, boy. No explanation.
No explanation.
So over to you. Over to you, Venom. Oh, Lord. Let's go.
Okay, so... so this week's This or That, the theme is squares versus toxic. If you can understand what that means, we're talking about characters who are a bit square, a bit lame, a bit simpish, a bit dry versus the toxic man them. And Dami has to pick one, and she can't explain why.
Are you saying which one would I prefer today? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Which one is your for life? It's not even date, really. It's marry. It's for life.
Marry.
This is your
for life.
This is your man's.
Oh.
This is your man's.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Just to give it a bit more gravity, because you can date anybody.
I mean,
this guy you cannot drop down. This is your man for life.
God damn, I could date him for one day and be like, bye, see ya.
Exactly.
Okay,
this life and the next.
Till death do us part. Okay, cool.
Even in heaven, this is your.
In heaven,
is your soulmate.
No, sorry. In heaven, I don't think people recognize each other in heaven, but it's all right. I have it. Let's go. Let's do this.
So the first one, John Legend versus Digga D.
John Legend.
Oh, you square game. Okay, cool. Maybe I should go with a more difficult one then. So this next one, Heady One. He was, but by the way, the young people chose these people, yeah. So they said Heady One is a square. Heady One versus Offset.
Heady One.
Okay. Yeah, last one. Tiny Temper, also referred to as a square, versus Kevin Hart, referred to as toxic.
Um, Tiny Temper.
Okay.
Even if you didn't tell me he was a square, Tiny Temper.
I mean, he's not attractive. He's got flair. He's got style. He got swag.
Yeah, it's hard, but I can't express my reasoning, right? That's the rules.
Yeah, you can't explain it. Maybe you can take it
Oh,
to the comment
Lord.
section.
You lot take it to the comment section. If you want to know why I chose what I chose, then
You chose all three squares. I just realized.
yeah, I did. I want to be treated right. Get me? I'm not down for this toxic life.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I'm not gonna lie.
Soft life all my life. I said this before and I'm going to say it again.
So, this week, we have some more hot topics. They flow on from last week because Will and Jada have not calmed down in their lack of actions and the way this narrative is continuing. So, I guess our hot topic this week is everybody hates Jada.
Cheese! What are your thoughts
What are you
on
saying,
this?
Dami?
Oh, you want to know me? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I want to hear what you're saying about how this has progressed.
Okay. So, guys, we recorded the last episode literally on the Monday that everyone found out. Literally the day that we heard about Will's thunderous slap that bestowed on Chris Rock's face. We recorded that episode. So, there's been a whole week plus of events that have happened. So at this point online, people are hating on Jada. We've had two, I think, comedians or members of the public men call her a bitch. Mm-hmm. We've got people blaming her for Will's actions. And I just want to say, that I got two things to say. First of all, people hate Jada because she supposedly stepped out, but forget that they were in an open marriage. Okay, so they've got a bit of a polygamous thing going on over there. In that same red table talk that people found out about entanglement, Will also alluded to also stepping out in their marriage. And I just find it interesting that Jada's been villainized? Yeah, for that. She's been made the villain. Secondly, Will is a grown-ass man. He made his decision. Fair enough. He made it off the influence of Jada because her emotions influenced his emotion, which I expect to happen because that's your wife. But he decided, he's a grown-ass man. Man's 53, you know. He's not a baby. He's a 53-year-old man who decided to go on stage and slap an almost 60-year-old man because he couldn't handle his emotions at that time. That's not something, I don't see why we need to be blaming Jada. Like, she's the reason, but she's not the cause, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
I get what you mean.
all this hate for Jada, cut it out. Like, I just think it's ridiculous. It's not necessary. That's my take on it.
Okay, I hear that. The everybody hates Jada narrative, which is a play on everybody hates Chris.
I mean, if they don't get it, they don't get it. We shouldn't have to explain.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it. But I think that the way the narrative has progressed, well, it wasn't even really a progression. I feel like it was kind of immediate that everyone was like, it's Jada, because we also were laughing at the joke, even though the joke wasn't the best kind of joke. But I think people's disdain for Jada has gone on longer than entanglements. I just don't think a lot of people like Jada Pinkett, period. Before entanglements. That was just a good reason. Like, that was our, I'm going to say our because I'm not her biggest fan. I don't dislike her, but I'm not her biggest fan. Especially for Will Smith. I don't know why. But I think that was our first bit of tangible, we don't like her because blah, blah, blah. So, and also this was the first time that Will had done something that you could also blame on Jada. Before it was just feelings. And she's always had this vibe about her that was just weird. Like, you know how loads of guys dated Erica Badu and then they become real spiritual after the fact, like Common and Andre 3000 and a few other people. I feel like Jada Pinkett has a similar vibe to Erica Badu, except I don't dislike Erica Badu. I just know that she got that witchy vibe, like she can do that black magic that send a black man into another space. And I think Jada got the same vibe, except it's kind of like Erica Badu is a good witch, and Jada might be one of the bad witches. You know what I'm saying?
A whole witch.
So,
a whole witch.
A whole witch. She's a wench. So, yeah. So I just everybody kind of coming for her is interesting. Because you know what? A lot of people just love Will Smith and they don't want to see him do wrong. And this is the nearest person that they can blame, if you know what I mean. So they're gonna blame
I can
her.
see why they've done that. I don't particularly have any feelings for Jada. I just think that people need to remember he's a grown man. And he made his own decision. Man. And as my pops would say, as you lay your bed, so you shall lie in it. He made that decision, not Jada. Something else I saw this week on social media, which, if you lot haven't guessed, is the inspiration behind our little bit of this, little bit of that question. But there was a podcaster, male podcaster, as usual. Whenever we hear podcasters are talking rubbish, it's gonna be a male podcaster, guys. Facts. Basically said that Ciara was doing good with Future, who would have been basically saying he would have been a better match. That Russell Wilson, the only thing she gets out of him is money, really, because he's a square, aka simp, aka how would you define simp?
You know, a man who is overly sympathetic to the cause and feelings of women, and thus it influences his actions, I guess, beyond a certain point.
Real quick, can only a man be a simp?
I've only heard it used in the context of men, to be honest.
Okay.
That's the only way I can answer that question. I've never seen anyone else referred to as a simp.
Kill.
And by the definition I just gave, I'm a simp, and I'm definitely not a simp, but okay. I'm going to Urban Dictionary it right now.
Yeah, please. I always thought that if a guy is caring, loving, romantic, sweet...
okay, you're not far.
Then he's considered a simp, but actually that's how you should be towards your partner. And it's just toxic masculine men who...
Guys who hate on that.
Guys who are toxic, who are players, who don't know how to romance a woman. They're the ones that are calling other guys who haven't missed a trick, who know what they're doing, calling them a simp, trying to make them feel bad for doing the right thing.
Okay, well the definition.
In me saying all of that, I've basically given you my opinion on that stupid male podcaster's comments about Russell Wilson, and that's dead on that.
But the definition, as per Urban Dictionary, for simp is someone who does way too much for a person they like. That's the top definition. And then the next one is a man who puts the hoes before the bros.
Defo a guy wrote that.
That's the second top rated definition. I've never heard that one, but that is a better definition for me. That's something I can actually fully understand, because that's a mentality. I've seen guys do that.
I've seen girls do it as well. I know girls that do that. It's so common. She'll be like guys every weekend hollering, "Let's go out, let's do this, let's do that." She's got time for you. She'll be coming to see you. She'll be as soon as she gets a boyfriend, you don't see her. Then when they break up, she's back. Oh my God, I've got to give you the tea. This happened. She's crying on your shoulder. You're supporting her. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it happens. It happens. God. It happens.
As soon as I read that second one, I actually found a category for actual friends of mine. I was like, "Oh, you a simp?
He a simp.
You a simp?
Venom, are you a simp?
Nope. No, we don't love them hoes. You know how Snoop say it.
Oh my Lord. Okay. But I'm guessing the person that wrote that definition was referring to all women as hoes, not actual hoes.
Yeah. He's just saying anyone that puts a girl,
Any girl
before
above the man them.
any
But I
girl
don't
that they're
get
interested
it.
in anyway.
I don't get it. If marriage matters to you, when you get married, you're not marrying your man. You're not marrying the man them. Who's gonna keep you warm at night?
You're wedded to the man them from when you lot, you know what I mean? From when you lot are 30, man. That's your new family. That's a wedding right there, bro.
No, because I always
That's
like,
a
as much
wedding.
as I'm saying, I know girls who drop their friend like hot potato when they get a man, yeah. I always use this scenario. If I was out with my friends and it was just me and my girl, and she was like, oh, my man, he's coming around tonight, I'm going to leave the venue and go. I'll be like, babes, go, because I'm not going to be keeping you warm at night.
Yeah, but there's ways you can balance that.
You're not going to marry me, sis.
There's ways you can balance
I'm not
it.
spooning you at night time.
Snap.
I will not be.
But just to give
it's not
just
me.
to give my Russell Wilson take, no Future would not be a better partner for Ciara. Future is a terrible man.
I feel like immature young men who are not ready for serious relationship, who do not understand what it takes to maintain a serious long-term relationship, marriage, are the ones that are going to be calling Russell Wilson a simp/square.
I can hear that.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
I agree.
Nice and easy. That takes us into the main topic. So this conversation about Russell Wilson versus Future has really had me thinking about the dating scene as it is today, and people's attraction to toxic partners. I don't want to make it exclusive about men. I feel like, because there's definitely toxic women out there, boy. So I would like us to unpick that. I want us to today unpick the attraction to toxicity in the dating scene today. What are your thoughts about that?
Attraction to toxicity. The dating scene. The dating scene is made up of, lots of single people. In fact, even some who are not single. But the dating scene is made up of a lot of individuals in search of some excitement in their life. And I think this is where the problem starts, right at the beginning. Because toxic characters are a lot more exciting than simp characters. And I think it's that excitement that creates this allure and attraction that people go for. And then they find themselves in this mashed up cycle of dating people who are just terrible partners because they present as excitement, and instead of looking for the characteristics that make really good partners, people look for exciting relationships.
I don't know, I think the attraction to toxicity depends on where you are in your relationship journey or in your pursuit for a relationship. I think when we're a lot younger, it's easy to perceive arguments, fighting, gaslighting, like anything toxic as fun, if you can call it that. See it as interesting. When things are going too good, it's like, oh, nothing really good's going on. It's getting a bit dry. But I think as you get older or more mature, and the more you're wanting, like I said before, something serious, something with longevity, the more you appreciate what's considered boring. And I think simping / being a square can be interesting. it's not necessarily boring, because like if I had I don't even like them terminologies, but okay, like the idea that someone's going above and beyond than what would normally be acceptable. So I guess you could argue that someone for Valentine's Day booking a hotel and putting bare rose petals all over the place and buying loads of gifts and all that is simping for his partner. As the person on the receiving end, that's exciting, because I want gifts.
I agree. I don't know.
Like,
I think it's contextual.
Fly me out,
toxic
baby.
brother will fly you out. A toxic brother can do all that.
Yeah, but he'll fly me out and then we'll be fighting, and that's dry. I mean, we could fight so we can make up. But then we can also role play and act like we fought and role play all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it depends on where you are in your journey. I think that's what determines what you're looking for, because I've had my fair share of toxic and I'm tired. I'm so tired. I don't want any more wahala. Please. I don't want any more trouble. I don't want any more stress. Wahala is basically stress, guys, for those non-Yoruba peeps that listen to us. I don't want any more.
Stress in black, innit?
I don't want any more of that. I want a simple life, soft life, 2022 all my life, as I say. I don't want stress. And it's because I'm at that stage in my life where I've had my fair share of arguments, of crying, of depression, of, oh my God, stress. I'm supposed to look younger. I look young already, but I'm supposed to look younger. But because of these toxic relationships, here I am looking like I'm 26 when I should be looking like I'm 23. Yeah, man.
It's not good. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm definitely hearing what you're saying, and I'm thinking, is this the truth for me as I perceive it? And not of you, just in terms of my own personal experience.
I was about to say.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I know. Imagine I'm just this is not true. I mean, this is not true.
I know you. Nah. Don't lie.
You definitely go for the toxic guy. No, I'm just thinking like, I mean, obviously, I wisened up to the fact that, yeah, you know what? If I'm looking to find me a wife, there's certain characteristics I'm going to have to go for and certain characteristics I'm going to have to cancel from the off. But if I was not at the point where I had wisened up to this, in terms of just generally what would I date, I definitely find like toxic traits like more attractive. I do,
Okay, what toxic traits are we talking about here?
Let me think. Like, I think I get excited by scenarios that present as challenges because, and maybe this is the toxic in me, because I like to overcome adversity. I like to. Like, if a girl has got like bare options and she might even be promiscuous, or she might be like just have bare options and not be too keen, or I mean, she's playing the field too. I'll be like, all right, cool, challenge accepted. Like, man will have you. You know what I mean? Acting like the wifey in 2.2 seconds. Don't think man can't do that
ego.
to you. Like,
that's your ego. Yeah.
So it's a combination of two, but like,
I think it's slightly different for women though.
I
think
in what sense?
I think that being a simp is considered weak amongst women.
When men are
in a
when
heterosexual
men are,
situation.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of, especially the younger generation, I feel like they see simping as weak, just like the way guys see guys, just like how men see guys who are simping as weak. Young women see guys who are simping as weak. We associate men who are toxic as masculine,
as being strong.
I
actually agree, and not that I agree, but I agree with that perception, because I would, by that definition, I actually in my mind do think, like Future versus Russell Wilson, like Future could probably bang him up, but no, he definitely could not. Russell wiped the floor with him. Like Russell is
Right, and
built
I
like
think,
a tank.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying I feel like when you get to a certain maturity level, you get to a certain age, your perception of masculinity shifts. Like if you're straight, yeah, as a woman, I feel like straight women, younger straight women, see simps as weak, and their perception of what a man truly is in relation to his physical strength or, you know, yeah, he's more aggressive, not like as in tump someone, like, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like someone who presents themselves as a little bit aggressive, or yeah, that's what they associate masculinity with, and that's what they associate a man to be, right? As you get older, a man is someone who will do what he says he will do. He will stick by you. He will step up and look after you and your family. That's a real man. and so there's a shift in that, and naturally the latter is what a younger person might call a simp, which is what happened to Russell Wilson.
So then by your sort of, I mean, I feel like the lines are crossing a little bit. And I was just wondering, because I guess you said it earlier, but based on what you just described, does Will Smith more so fall into the real man category or the toxic category in his most recent, the most recent evolution of his character?
I don't know, but I think Will Smith would probably sit in a simp category. And the reason why I say that is because of the whole narrative of blaming Jada. People think Jada wears the trousers in the relationship, and whilst his reaction was violent, that doesn't mean that he sits in the toxic realm. Although if you was to ask white women, because now all those Karens and Sarahs and Janes are saying that, if that's what you can do to somebody on stage, what is he doing to Jada in the back?
Imagine.
Right. So, which is absolute bullshit. If in my opinion, as I say, in my opinion, I don't know why I say it like that, but anyway, in my opinion, that's bullshit, right? So I guess to them, they might see him as black man, tall. He's just thumped someone on TV. He's toxic.
He's aggressive.
He's violent. He could have knocked him out. He could have punched him, but he didn't. He chose to give him an open palm slap. Not saying what he did was right. Just saying it could have been a lot worse.
It could have.
But I think to the rest of us who don't think that way, who think normal, I don't even know if that's thinking normal, we would say he's a simp because of what I guess we think he's allowed Jada to do over the years, and he's a family man and he supports his family and all that, and he's never portrayed himself in the last 30 years plus as aggressive. So
you're saying family man falls into simp territory?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah. Just based on that podcast, that stupid podcaster's comments about Russell Wilson.
Right.
His reasons for calling Russell a square was like literally, he don't really do much. Like he's mad supportive, like mad caring. There's nothing about him that's interesting. It's just because he's got money. But Russell Wilson's a family man.
I think both parties need to have a certain level of love and care and outward, respect and service to each other. And maybe people refer to men as simps when it doesn't seem like the woman is delivering the same level of service visibly, if you know what I mean. Like I know Ciara loves Russell, and obviously they have what is perceived as a fantastic relationship. But I think it's the sacrifices he has to make are more apparent, knowing that obviously Ciara has a child with Future. Future's a toxic idiot outwardly, and so from the offset, there's that to deal with, and then he's obviously really loving, supporting of the family, etc., and not got the biggest main character energy. It seems, to a degree, obviously, that he's serving more than she's serving him. But obviously, you don't know the details. But I think also that plays into why men are perceived as simps, because I don't think that is the case. I'm just trying to think. I can't think of an example though. I don't think women simp over men to the same
I
degree
do.
that some. No. Visibly,
I do.
I think maybe within the household or within the behind closed doors. But like, I mean, outwardly to the world, I don't think it's.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Give me an example of a female simp.
I can talk about myself. So
I
I've
mean,
definitely fallen into the trap of this guy is blatantly showing me that it's not what it is, and yet I'm moving like I'm his wife. I'm doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that is simping. You know, like cooking for him. Never again. God, I'm so embarrassed.
Wow.
Gabby. Somebody that didn't call you girlfriend. You was cooking
they're
for
cooking
him.
them stew.
Oh my God, taking food to his house. Cooking at my house and taking it to his house. Doing delivery.
Mad.
Just eat.
That is definitely
Do you see what I'm saying?
too much though.
Because
Yeah,
I was doing I'm in love. I'm in love, and you know. I'm telling you, girls simp as well. Girls stand up, as they're saying these days.
But it's not mad though.
It's mad. Because this is my wedding hands. I'm not a wife. Should not be doing all of that. You see what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm also saying is it's not that you wait until you're married to act like a wife also.
No, you give them a little bit of a taster, but you don't go above and beyond for someone that is not in that position for you. Because what happens with guys, in my opinion, is that they get comfortable and complacent.
They get complacent.
And it's like, why buy the cow if I can get the milk for free? And it sounds so cruel, but I've learned my lesson.
That's the truth.
I've actually learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I've actually learned my lesson, because I'm a hopeless romantic. And once I really guys, feel sorry for me. Guys, if you pray as well, pray for me, because it's so easy for me to start doing too much. Because once I care about someone, I'm like, I want to pour all my love and affection into them. That's what I'm saying. Girls can be a simp. That's me. Hi, my name is Dami Zayn, and
I'm a simp. People who unfortunately who serve others by way of their character, they will always get taken advantage of, because there's a lot of people who will try and take from anybody anyway, if you know what I mean.
This is the thing about simps, people that you call simps, because what happens is they get taken advantage of and then they become toxic.
Yeah, that can definitely happen, boy. Because I had a toxic phase, but I wasn't toxic like I think toxic is a school of behavior, not a way of treating people.
That's right.
I think people can be toxic but not be bad.
I'm sure even people that we call simps have a toxic thing about them. Because let me tell you something. I know some guys that are simps, who are the most manipulative bastards ever. They use the fact that they're nice guys to lure you. Oh. Next thing you know, you're falling in love. Next thing you know, he's showing you the real. You're like,
that's me, innit?
I never experienced it. Because as you're saying to me that, you had your toxic phase. I'm trying to imagine what your toxic phase actually was. Like, what was it? What was it? I
mean, so, and we ain't gonna do origin stories this episode.
Let's go.
I obviously have had some bad relationships as well as just some failed relationships. Generally speaking, I'd say I'm much more on the simp side of life in terms of like trying to serve my female and look after them and make them feel good and prioritize their emotional well-being. But not to the detriment of my boys. Like, my boys are my boys. So that's why that particular definition stood out to me, because I was like, I don't put hoes before the bros. Like, that's not a thing.
First of all, first of all, we shouldn't be referring to women as hoes or female.
I'm just using the description.
Well,
so I don't ever put the women that I've dated before the bros. It's actually about having a balance whereby they understand how important they are to me, and they also understand how important my boys are to me and how much they fulfill and create the character that I am, and that they need to live together harmoniously, not try and take
No,
priority
that's
over
healthy.
one another.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I'd had like certain failed relationships, I'd just come to the point where in my mind I was thinking, I mean, you could keep trying to find, Mrs. Right and whatnot, or you can just serve yourself, which right now I think you should do, because this finding Miss Right thing ain't working. And you enjoy female company, but every time you like really try and take it to this certain place, like these ladies are just not coming through. So then I just moved into a whole different space, and I almost on a layer, like on my next layer down. So maybe not my most outward facing layer, but like the next layer down. I feel like I just completely replaced that one with the toxic one, and it's literally like inserting a cartridge, and I was just a new person in that. On that level, like anyone trying to know me on that emotional or relationship level was experiencing a different guy. And
I want. Give us a story time. Give us a story time.
damn, I'm trying not to do anything too
Anonymously.
incriminating. Okay, yeah, no, so nothing too incriminating. So
I mean,
I feel like with the toxicity, it's just more about feeding. It's more about feeding the ego without involving the emotion.
I still want a story time, Venom. You're not gonna get out of
Damn.
it. Don't try.
But my stories are bad. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
but
really
you're
got to think.
changed man
I got to
now.
think good.
You're changed man.
Yeah, but they're
you've moved
bad.
on.
They're bad.
Don't tell her. Okay, not everything. Just give us a snippet or something.
A snippet.
Remember, you've already admitted on this podcast that you've cheated before.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. No, but if So when I'm in my toxic phase, no one ain't even getting to like wife level. Like no one's. I'm not claiming you.
Was you doing that thing where you'd do the whole like string a girl along?
Nah, that's never been my style. Okay, here's toxic me.
Exactly, I want to know.
I've got a good safe story that you've helped me get there. I've got one because all I could think of was the absolute bad ones. Okay, so this is a rule. This is a rule of my character. This is Venom. Yeah, does not claim anyone that's not his. That is facts. I'll chase if I like. Oh yeah, I like that girl. Want her? Then I will chase her and try and make that happen. But unless me and you have had a conversation, I'm gonna let you know categorically that we ain't together. So don't think I'm trying. Like don't claim. You know what I mean? There's no confusion ever. There's no confusion. When I was younger, I had confusion. It's not good. I don't like people being, emotionally dependent on me and me disappointing them, and that being a precedent that was set. If you know what I mean. I like people to. If someone falls for me and we're not together, and that's a different problem.
Yeah,
that's your problem, in fact, because you knew what it was.
Damn, yo.
But there was this ex-partner that I was with once upon a time, very toxic also, and then at a certain point in our not relationship, she decided to like kind of come back, like in and out, a bit of a yo-yo vibe, which was cool because it was consensual. Like I understood, yeah, we're not together. She understood, we're not together, but we have a lot of attraction to one another, and we're gonna play this game. But she established that. And I was just like, okay, well, cool, then that's what it is. So because we weren't together, I was happily playing the field, doing my thing until she shows up again, and then we'll have a little moment and part ways. And one day she hit me up, and I was like, oh, so-and-so wants to see, man. Okay, not a problem. Yeah, what you saying? We're on the phone, whatever. I'm like, yeah, come see me. Saturday's cool. Let's do it. So she comes by on Saturday and she's like, hey, how you doing? Yada, 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 etc., etc. And then we're about to, get to know each other a little better than better.
About to clap the
like,
cheeks.
Yo, it's not mine. I did those.
That's what it is.
We're about to get to know each other a little better than better. But bearing in mind, I'm doing me now because you made it apparent that,
it's not
we
that.
just having fun.
Yep.
I've consensually agreed that, yeah, we just having fun, so whatever. So then she's, and I found it so funny, but she was like, oh, you know what? Like, when's the last time, like you was with somebody? I'm like, yesterday.
I mean, keep it real, keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it stepping.
I mean,
But that was my energy, boy.
wow.
And it was.
I don't know if I can imagine you like that, The most toxic trait that I had, that I presented in a relationship was, which I spoke about before, was the whole breaking up, come back, break up, come back. Like anytime there was problems, I was like, I'm out, peace out. I'm out. And then I'd come back and we'd just fall back into things. And I think that was definitely me. As much as he allowed me to keep coming back, it was definitely me. Because I was the one that was running all the time. And that's toxic. Because then he became...
No, it is.
He became anxious. Like, I don't know what like, do we have longevity in this or not? And I didn't realise at the time. It's when you get... Like I said, as you mature... And then you start to learn more about your toxic traits. And like, oh, actually, damn it, man, the way you handled that, that was toxic. That wouldn't have been nice for him.
No, I agree.
But...
I did literally the same thing to an ex. And then one time, she just said, no, we shouldn't get back together because we're going to, like, it's just going to go back to being the same. No, like, we'll go back to, like, being the same way that we were before.
Yeah, nothing's going to change.
And, like, the thing is, that wasn't even my intention. Like, I really had changed inside, and I felt like, nah, you know what? I'm really gonna like do it properly this time. But then I said, you know what? I think for her sanity, let me actually not. Rather than just because I could have won her over, but I just said, you know what? I kind of feel like she doesn't deserve this, even though that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, if it doesn't work out, then you know what I mean. It's just.
But you know, every time you go and come back, you lose a little bit of that spark that.
Yeah,
changes.
And it's just that, and I'm just like, man, I'm just doing damage to this person at this point, even though I'm definitely like sure, like no, I mean it this time. Like we're really gonna do. Yeah, as I said.
And I also think when you're going through like stuff of your own, when you've got stuff that you're not healed from. You can become toxic to your partner, which is what happened to me. So I was going through my own like mental health stuff, and one day I will share that when we have a mental health episode. Like the stuff that I've been through, and you know, that all of that stuff, and I became very dependent on my partner, and that in of itself is toxic because I wasn't dealing with my stuff, and I was like putting it on them and expecting them to like help me in it, and putting all of my like depending on them too much. That put pressure on them. That in of itself was toxic.
Yeah, I think with regards to this simp thing, I think that the level at least that these men are coming with needs to be matched by the women. If it's matched, then I don't think it's
simpy
problematic at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's simpy.
It should be equal.
I think the conversation around simps is just that it's unbalanced, and that's what these guys are doing way too much, and their woman ain't doing way too much in return.
Okay. Russell, because this came from Russell, right? This whole Russell Wilson. Do you think it's imbalanced in Russell and Ciara's relationship?
Well, she's the celeb. She's the Will Smith of that relationship in terms of like she's the bigger entity. But she's much bigger entity. I don't think. I mean, obviously people must, but I don't think people check for Russell to the degree that they check for.
I think they might do.
Ciara.
I think they might do. Depends on what you're into. If you're into music, R&B, you're gonna be checking for Ciara. But there's probably people out there that aren't and are literally into. I forget what sport he plays.
NFL,
right? There's definitely.
That was just testament to it. I don't even know what sport he plays. What was that?
But that's because I don't watch the NFL. I'm not interested in sports.
Yeah.
Me and sports don't go together.
I mean, it's me too.
But
in terms of them two,
taking their celebrity,
it looks balanced to me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it
how
looks
is he a
balanced
simp then? He's not a simp. He's just a respectable man. Respectable.
But he has to deal with a lot. That's what I think it is, man. I think everyone's just looking. No, because of just Future. Like imagine Future is your partner's baby daddy. In fact,
Future's
like, that is
spreading his
dead.
Future's spreading his attention across his whole football team. I doubt he's giving Russell Wilson and Ciara that much wahala, that much stress. like you're
I don't know,
saying.
boy. Man's got money. Man's got money.
Both of them have their own money.
You know, but I mean, he's got money to be causing trouble, if you know what I mean.
I don't think he is. We would have heard about it.
I don't think he is, but...
So what baggage does Ciara have? What is Russell dealing with that's so much?
I mean...
Russell Wilson raises the kids with...
Future's you.
Yeah, because Future don't do diddly squat. So what is Russell dealing with exactly?
It's that collateral, man. I'm telling you, the way that these toxic parents feed into these kids, I mentioned it before in the previous episode.
You're making assumptions, man. You're just making assumptions. You don't know anything. You don't know the truth. You don't know the truth.
You don't know anything.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
We're making money out sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I think it's the personal level of me. I could never date not that obviously I would, but I couldn't date anyone that Future has even dated, let alone
but that's because of your own perception of Future, man. Allow it.
Yeah, fully.
Allow it.
Fully.
Allow it. It looks
but I think that's what everyone puts on Russell, I think.
But that's not fair, is it? Because he's a respectable guy. He's an upstanding guy from what we can see. He's raising Ciara's first child as his own with their own children. They seem to have, from the outside, they seem to have a wholesome, loving nuclear family. And
I don't even think you're allowed to call it nuclear.
It looks balanced. So whether I call it nuclear or what or not, in sociological terms, it's a nuclear family, mum and dad, children. So, you know, I feel like it's unfair to call him a simp. But it speaks to what I'm saying in that if someone is treating someone with respect and treating them as they should do, now, in today's day and age, you are a simp. And it's because we glorify toxicity.
Well, toxic man them glorify that because then it gives them the in.
But I think girls do as well.
Well, of course.
Younger girls or immature.
Yeah. Because it's exciting.
Exactly.
There's excitement to be had. And that's always going to be the case.
Some girls like bad boys because they're more interesting.
There's going to be more excitement there. That's without argument.
But as for me, I can't deal with the pain. I can't deal with the anxiety. I can't deal with the depression.
That's what I'm saying. You're not built to be out here in these streets doing up toxic.
I'm not for the highway.
The highway?
I'm not for the highway. I'm not for the dual carriageway, the motorway.
The dual carriageway, you know.
I'm not for it. I'm not for the streets.
You better get off on that first junction. That's all I'm telling you, because
I'm not for the streets.
You ain't gonna be able to hack it.
I'm not for the streets.
To hack it.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
At all. It's not everybody that can be doing it, man. It's really not. And again, I think it's a lot harder for women based on how they're built psychologically.
Yeah. We're nurturers, aren't we? And I feel like women are more built for relationship than men.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's maybe easier for younger women, and especially younger women who have experienced a more promiscuous sexual,
not necessarily
life.
I think what it is when you're young, both men and women, we don't know what we want because you've not had any experience. You have an idea of what you might want, but you don't actually know what you don't know what you need. You don't know what is good for you. You don't actually know what you like. You like what people or what you've seen to be liked. Remember how you were saying how a lot of women tend to be attracted to guys that other women are attracted to? It's kind of that idea. When you're young, you are told this is what is attractive. This is what relationships should be. Right now, in this day and age, relationship is very materialistic. So a lot of people will be looking for that. But as you experience all of that, you start to realize that buying me Gucci and taking me to Oxo Tower or to Duck and Waffle or to to Hakkasan or to any of these places is not enough to sustain a long-term relationship, a healthy long-term relationship. There's more to it than that. And what happens is people experience, you know, relationship or dating different people, and as you date more people, you start to learn what you actually need, what is actually good for you. And when you go through that process, you then realize that all that glittery stuff is not what makes a partner.
It's of no value.
It's of no value to you. And that's why I said, takes me back to my main point. My main opinion on this is that when you are immature in the journey, arguing all the time, you equate that to some sort of love, because we argue so much, but we always get back together. He must love me, or she must love me. Or someone demonstrating that they're overly jealous and controlling. They equate that to love. But that's not healthy. And as you get older, or not older in age, I don't want to equate it to age, because there's some young people that are very mature in this as well. But once you get to a certain point in your journey in terms of relationship and what you're looking for changes. And then you start to appreciate the guys that allow you to be yourself, or that allows you to be your authentic self, the people that support you, the people that give you the room and the space to be yourself, to do what you want to do, to express your emotions freely, no judgment. The people who know how to communicate. When you go to them with, you know, this happened and I don't like how it made me feel, they're coming at you with, okay, how do we move forward? How do we navigate in this space in a way where you don't feel like that anymore? And people think that is boring. That's not boring. It's called healthy. It's healthy, and that's what you want. But you don't realize that when you're young. You're thinking, oh, you know, it's okay for me to tell that person that they've done something to me, and for them to get upset, and then for us to argue and fight and shout at each other. But when as you get more mature, you realize no, conversation is what is supposed to happen. You're meant to communicate. You have to be able to
communicate, man. You have to be able to communicate.
You can't be emotionally unavailable in a healthy relationship. You have to be open and vulnerable. That's not weak. That's strength, but you don't see it as strength until you're more mature. And you have to, and you get to a point where this relationship won't work if we're not vulnerable with each other. We cannot be competing. We have to work together. That means I have to show some vulnerability. I have to open up. And it's not easy.
It's definitely not easy. It's definitely not easy.
As you get
I think
mature,
even in a relationship that has that, you can still find yourself in places where you find it difficult to communicate. I think relationships are very fluid.
Yeah.
And you can go through stages of having really good communication, really good, being connected on a really good level and seeing eye to eye and being able to deal with your issues. And then literally a few days later, you just really come out of sync.
But even as you come out of sync, it takes communication to get you back into sync. And it's the communication that allows you to get to know each other and figure things out. And it's the wanting to, okay, I know right now you are pissing me the fuck off. You are really annoying me. I don't like you right now, but I love you and I'm committed. So we're gonna navigate through this. It's that bit is what people call simping nowadays. That's the bit that stuff is not glorified enough. It's not spoken about enough. Instead, what we're seeing is, oh, he flew me out. He bought me this. She bought me that. She bought me the PS5 and the new trainers.
I was definitely telling Bae to buy me the PS5, for time.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but because people do that.
That's toxic in me, boy.
No, but
I just wanted to be able to say, I just wanted it so I could say, oh yeah, Bae bought it for me. Like, if you know what I mean.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with buying each other stuff and whatever. But what I'm saying is, right now, the focus on social media and stuff like that, the focus is on those things. It's not on the healthy things. And so when people see other people doing those healthy things, they're like, he's simping. That's dry. That's boring. The only reason that's boring. It's not boring. It's not boring. It's what needs to happen if you want to have a long-lasting relationship.
Definitely. And again, but there's not that many examples. I think that's another issue, is that a lot of people don't look at, or maybe even don't have the parents to look at, but they don't see
But
the qualities that are in the long-lasting relationships
I
around
agree
them.
with that. I agree with that. But I also feel like what needs to happen is we need more people speaking on what is actually necessary for a healthy relationship, but without doing it as a look at us, we're an example, we're couples goals. Because what happens with couples goals is we only get to see the good stuff. It starts to look
the
like
materials,
like Instagram is so fake, nothing on it is real.
It's Hollywood. It's worse than Hollywood.
All of it is aesthetic, so it becomes an aesthetic, but it's not real. They're not showing them your therapy sessions. You're not showing them those nasty, that communication I'm talking about, how nasty it can get, how raw it can get, how a relationship literally is a mirror. It shows you who you are. You think you know who you are. When you're in a relationship, that's when you really know who you are.
Yeah,
because your
find
partner
out,
will show you you're ugly, you're good, and you're good, bad, and ugly. It will be shown, revealed to you, and then you have to kind of, okay, my ego takes the hit, but I have to still be like, okay, I'm committed to this person. I need to do better for us.
Yeah, I need to level up.
Right. So all of that is not glorified. No one shows all of that. They just show the couple. That's what I'm saying. Like, Russell and Ciara probably do have toxic elements of their relationship, but we don't get to see it. We see the gushing over each other, the romance, and people are like, oh, that's boring. It's not boring. They're just not showing you that stuff. So I think what we need is less of the materialistic stuff. Yes, that is an element of relationship, particularly if that is what you like, if that's your love language, you love gifts. Yeah, that's an element of your relationship, but it takes more than that to have a successful relationship. And I think people need to share more of those nuggets, that wisdom, but without doing it in a way that's like, look at us, we're doing it perfect.
So we want to introduce a new segment into our show called What You Saying, and we want to feature your dilemmas as our topics, and then kind of give our thoughts and opinions and share what we can to help you navigate your way through them if they're ongoing, or to reflect on them if they've passed. So hit us up in the comments or the DMs or email, which will be in the description. Send us your dilemma, and then we'll bring them up in the future episodes, and hopefully shed some positive or educational light on these scenarios.
You know what I mean? And we will definitely keep it anonymous, especially if I would say email, because then, yeah, we can definitely keep you anonymous. You know, don't want to be airing out you don't want to open your pants in front of everybody.
Your business.
Do you know what I mean? Like airing your dirty laundry outside, if it is dirty laundry, that is. But yeah, we want to include you as much as we can in our episodes. So
hit us up at the.com in the description. And also, if you're joining us for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, the like button. It goes a long way in helping our channel. And thank you for joining our family. If you're already part of the family, you done know. Thank you for being here and watching another one with myself and my co-host Dami Zain. Please follow us on our socials, which will be in the description and on screen. And anything else we should add?
Nah, just thanks for coming, innit?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for coming, guys. And until the next one,
peace.